morning. Could you state your name for our record, please?
Good morning, Trooper Matthew Johnson.
Were you on duty January 2nd of 2017?
Yes, I was.
And approximately 2 o'clock, where were you?
I was in the town of Georgia on regular patrol.
And what happened that attracted your attention?
Vermont State Police Dispatch notified the troopers in the area that they received a call from a female stating that there were 2 men lining the road on Georgia Mountain Road. No other information.
What did you do?
I responded to the area and I pressed the Georgia Mountain Road slowly, and then I witnessed a large truck to my left. It was on the right side of the shoulder, parked. One man was lying face down in the road. And then I saw another man lying on his back on the snowbank on the shoulder of the road. I stopped my car. I radioed to dispatch that these were in fact injured men and rescue should expedite their response. Then I was approached by a female. This female exited a car that was parked directly in front of me. And the female approached my vehicle and said my son was shot 2 men.
Did you identify who that female was?
Nope, not a very.
What was the next thing you did?
I exited, so the female said my son was shot 2 men. She said my son's sitting in the back of my car. I took his gun from him. I exited my cruiser. I approached the vehicle from the rear. I saw the male sitting in the back seat of the SUV. The female had, prior to my arrival, locked her trunk. So I had eyes on the male sitting in the back seat. I went up to the rear door, opened up the door, put my hand on his shoulder, and escorted him out of the car, stood him up, put handcuffs on him, as he was identified as a shooter by the female. No words were exchanged. I walked him to the back of my cruiser and waited for backup to arrive.
How much time passed before other troopers arrived?
Approximately 30 seconds.
What did you do with the male?
When the troopers arrived, I gave custody over to the male to Trooper Bruzy. I told Trooper Bruzy what we had, potential males down, gunshot wounds, and this was our potential shooter. I gave custody of the male to Trooper Bruzy, and then I grabbed my medical supplies and approached the 2 men lying down on the side of the truck.
Do you have any special medical training?
I do.
What is that?
Tactical Combat Casualty Care. It's a TCCC, that's the abbreviation. Teaches you how to treat combat wounds. So I was well equipped to treat these gunshot wounds. Ran into both of the men, and the man lying down in the middle of the road face down, he was deceased.
And how did you determine that?
He was cold to the touch, non-responsive, and he had a visible gunshot wound.
Where was that visible gunshot wound?
Back of the head.
Did you approach the other subject?
Yes, I did.
And where was he in relation to the deceased male?
He was across the other side of the truck. He was by the front passenger side bumper, lined with snowbank. And this male was awake, unresponsive to verbals. He was awake, moving his arms, moving his head. His face was covered in blood. It appeared like he had been shot in the face, but I saw no bullet wound. But it was a very severe injury to his face. His mouth was open, and he was breathing. There's not much medically to do for that situation, in an emergency situation. So he needed to be brought to the hospital immediately. So we stood by and waited for rescue.
And did rescue arrive?
Yes, shortly after my arrival.
So after assisting rescue, did they remove this male from the scene in the ambulance?
Yes.
What was the next thing you did after the ambulance left?
I went back to my cruiser, met with Trooper Bruzy, who still had custody of the male, and I was advised by my sergeant, Sergeant Pocket, to transport the male back to the St. Albans Barracks to be interviewed and processed. So I did that. Prior to me leaving the scene, I went to the SUV, and I was advised to gather the pistol that was sitting in the trunk of the SUV, put that in an evidence bag, along with one empty magazine and one bullet casing. Put those in an evidence bag, put that in my car, with the mail, and I returned to St. Albans Barracks.
I'll show you what I've marked the state's number 19. It's a photograph. Can you identify what that is?
Yes, that's a Smith & Wesson shield that was found by me in the trunk of the SUV on scene.
Is that the weapon you collected?
Yes, it is.
So, yeah. This is the picture number 19 that you just identified. I think that's what I wanted correctly. Where was it that you found this firearm?
The trunk of the SUV.
And was that the original way that you saw the firearm, with the magazine out of it, the slide locked open, the empty cartridge casing nearby?
Yes, I was the first officer on scene. This is the way that that gun was presented to me.
They'll move to admit it's 19, Robert.
No objection, you don't know what number it was in order.
19 showed it marked
they weren't.
as,
My order is not good. Thank you.
But
Did Mr. Grattan make any statements to you during the transport back to the barracks regarding the incident?
No.
Okay. That's all I'm going to ask this witness. Thank you.
Mr. Dunham, any questions?
Yes. Okay, so initially Mr. Grattan is in the right rear passenger seat.
Middle of the passenger seat.
Okay. And then, and the gun and the gun casing and the clip were in the trunk, if you will, of the SUV?
Yes.
And so they had, they weren't in his immediate possession, correct? And I think you indicated earlier that you'd learned from, did you identify the woman?
Not by name.
Okay. You now know that she was Ethan's mother?
Yes.
And you knew from talking to her that she and her husband had been handed the weapon?
No.
You didn't? Okay. She just told you where it was?
Yes.
And you removed the weapon from the truck before you removed Ethan, or not?
Yeah, yes, I did.
One moment. So I take it you got another witness for the rest of it? In terms of the, up past the truck and all that?
Yeah, I've got, Matuccio is gonna talk about blood in the house, and, Letourneau is gonna talk
Okay, I
about
don't want
blood
the
up in the
camera, I
house.
could do some of it, I won't.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to show you G, H, and I. Ask you each other for what those are.
This is Ethan sitting in the back of my patrol car.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see. So is your patrol car there should be?
Yes, it is.
I see, okay. And do they truly and accurately depict how we appeared that night?
Yes.
And this is also depict the structure with the pocket that he was wearing that night? Or that, actually, it was that day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So were those taken at the scene, or?
Yes, they were.
And so he's restrained in those pictures?
Yes.
Move the admission of G, H, and I, Your Honor.
No objection.
I'm sorry, give me those letters again.
G, H, and I.
G, H, and I should be marked as
The co-counsel wants me to ask one question. I need a picture to show it as. Okay, so I think we might have some little bit of right-left confusion. When you're coming up the road, you're looking at a skidder with oversized tires sitting in the oncoming, the the other lane, the oncoming lane?
Yes,
Okay. And so as you're looking at it, the man in the middle of the road would have been to the right of the truck?
from my vantage point, yes.
And the man who you cared for was in the snowbank to the left side of the truck?
Yes.
That's all I have.
State have anything to
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get my next witness.